I be the for divorcing my wife after she cheated after her parents died? About a month ago, my wife's parents both died in a car crash. She has been an emotional mess, understandably so. We live in her hometown, so we've been seeing her family and friends often. I've been supportive any way I can. I've taken care of all the house chores. I've been there for her every day. Here's where things get messy. She has an ex. Let's call him Luke. Luke is not just her ex. Luke is still friends with her and her first love. They were high school sweethearts, and Luke was almost like another child to her parents. The death of her parents affected Luke a lot too. Honestly, I didn't initially like the fact that they were friends, but I trust my wife and moved on from that feeling. A few days ago, my wife said she was going to go out with her family. I told her I could go with her, but she insisted on going alone. She didn't come back till the next morning. I tried to call her and call her family members. No one knew where she was. When she did come back, she was a mess. I asked her where she was all night. She told me she f***ed up so much. I tried to calm her down and told her just tell me what happened and that it's okay. She can talk to me. She said she slept with Luke. I didn't react much. I told her I needed some time to think. She's apologized so many times. I did eventually ask her what happened. She said she met up with Luke and they were both messes. They reminisced about her parents, which led to them remembering their relationship. They were both drinking and it just happened. I'm so conflicted right now. My wife is probably going through the worst time in her life, but I don't think I want to be with her now. I'm furious at her. Okay. So, wow, this is a heavy one. But I'm going to say, I think whatever you do, you're not an ass. But I think you have a very, very difficult choice to make here. And I think you should give yourself a little grace and give her a little grace. First of all, your wife just went through an unimaginable tragedy to lose both of her parents in an accident. That's an unbelievably awful thing. And as you said, she's an emotional mess. You live in her hometown, so she's constantly surrounded by it. And this just happened a month ago. So that's a lot. It sounds like you've done all the right things. You've been supportive, and that's amazing. You should be commended for that. It's understandable that she reconnected with this Luke individual who knew her parents and was part of a time in her life when she was with her parents and they have the shared connection of her parents. I can tell you, when you lose people, being around people who knew those people is very comforting to you. She's still in early grief right now. So she spent time with this person. That's understandable as well. It's also understandable that you were uncomfortable with it, but it's very cool of you that you were like, okay, let's let that happen because maybe that's what she needs in her grief. So again, so far, nobody here is an ass, including Luke. Okay. She stayed out. She didn't come back till the next morning. She was a mess. She came home and confessed to what happened. She parsed it as that she f***ed up. So she took responsibility for it. She admitted it. She realized right away this was a big mistake. This isn't so. She gets some points for that. Again, you don't lose points for that. It hurts just as bad. I'm not taking that away from you, my friend. But the fact that this was not an ongoing affair with this person that she's justifying and saying Luke was her soulmate, because I've seen that one in my office about 1,000,000 times. This, she said she f***ed up. So she's acknowledging that she made a terrible mistake. And there was also alcohol involved. And I'm not saying that alcohol is an excuse, but it certainly impairs people's judgment and they do things that they wouldn't have otherwise done. And again, if it was just a regular Friday night and her parents hadn't both died in a car crash a month before, I might not give her the pass if she just went out and got drunk and hooked up with an ex-boyfriend. But when you're hanging out with someone who had a shared past, dealing with grief, and you throw alcohol into the mix, and then you admit that you up, I have a very hard time not feeling some sympathy for your wife because I think she knows what she did was terrible. And she knows that she now took a life that was already in total disarray, her own and yours, and made it exponentially worse because now she's lost both her parents and she may have screwed up and lost her marriage as well. So look, I think you have a right to feel conflicted right now. I think you have a right to your feelings in this situation. No one should tell you otherwise. Your wife is also navigating a tremendous amount of grief and now also probably the grief of her own, her own behavior and the mistake that she acknowledges that she made. What do I think that you should do? I think there's a lot of hope in your last sentence that I don't think I want to be with her right now. I think you need to think about where that is in context. So in the moment that you're in right now. There's a lot of questions that would come into my mind if you came into my office right now with this fact pattern, or even if your wife came into my office right now. First of all, I'd ask you if you have kids, because if you have kids, you have a tremendous incentive for the two of you to try to figure this out in some way, at a minimum, so that there can be some peace between the two of you, whether you're going to stay together or you're going to split up, that you can put infidelity into a proper context. Look, there are many, many couples that have issues of infidelity, and there's a big difference between ongoing relationship that a person says, okay, I'm leaving you for this person because I want one like you, but better than you. And someone who makes a mistake. People make mistakes all the time. We're human. It happens. Okay. And when someone admits that they made a mistake, again, it doesn't get rid of the mistake. You can throw a plate against the wall and break it and then apologize to it. It doesn't fix the plate, but it doesn't mean it is certainly a different circumstance than if someone takes a sort of egregious position of saying like, well, I cheated because you forced me to cheat, or I cheated because you pushed me into someone else's arms. When someone says I cheated, I up. I shouldn't have done that. I should have come home. I should have not given into that temptation. If I was unsatisfied in the relationship, I should have ended our relationship and then gone forward with this other person. So when someone is candid about the fact that they screwed up, I think that, but again, I don't think this situation has any in it, except maybe whoever it was who crashed into her parents' car. I think at the end of the day, this is a lot of hurt people hurting people. You certainly, sir, are the most innocent of the people that are in this situation. But if you came into my office looking to file for divorce, I would tell you, unless there was some emergency situation that required you to file right now, I just tell you to take. I would tell you, a good lawyer would tell you, listen, I'm not retiring anytime soon. If you still want to divorce this woman in a month or in 2 months or in 6 months, we'll still be here. You'll still be able to divorce her then. But give yourself a minute. If you need to take a little break, if you need to step out of, move away for a couple of days or go away for a couple of days or be away from her for a few days, don't feel guilty about that. It's not your job to be, caring for her in this situation. You may not even be qualified to really care for her in the situation as she tries to navigate, the mistakes she made when it comes to the situation.